Hey guys, so I made $15,000 copywriting for one of my clients. It took me about a week of work, and here's the crazy part. I'm not some copywriting genius. I don't come from a rich family, and I have an average IQ. So I'm pretty confident you guys can do it too. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how I land ultra high ticket copywriting deals with infopreneurs and online business owners. Those are specifically the type of clients I work with. I don't work for e-com brands. I don't work with any other type of businesses rather than just infopreneurs and online business owners. So people who sell courses or online coaching programs. Now, if you're new here, what's up? My name is Priyank. I'm 28 and I'm the guy behind the copywriting of some of the biggest French and European infopreneurs out there. So people who are killing it in the space by selling courses and coaching programs. Just like this guy, one of my clients, Jody, he makes a bit over $1 million a month with by selling courses in the investment niche. Here's a photo of him and I. We were in Orlando at Funnel Hacking Live of ClickFunnels. Or this guy, another one of my clients, he's crushing it in the speed reading and memory niche. He's making a bit over $5 million a year. And I have plenty of those clients. Basically, you can just check out my testimonial page. This guy, you probably don't know him, but he's crushing on the French market. He's a leader in the personal development niche. He says that I'm an excellent copywriter, and this guy makes a bit over $15 million a year with seminars, 5-day challenges, webinars in the personal development niche. There's also this guy who's literally crushing it with webinars. He says here, 22 million euros generated for our clients, and Priyank has a lot to do with it. And I have plenty of those clients, whether it's in the French market or English market, just like this guy, Ecom Kid, you'll probably know him. He's crushing it in the ecom space, and he has more than 500K subs on YouTube. Anyway, so in this video, I just want to share why my students and I are consistently able to land big clients and charge 10 grand, 15 grand, even 20 grand just for a few days of copywriting, while most copywriters are struggling to get one client to pay them 2 grand a month. I see that too often, guys. So the reason I'm able to do all of this is because there are 5 principles I've followed since day one of my copywriting journey. And these principles, they're simple, they're easy, they're obvious, and they're also why I became one of the highest paid copywriters in my industry. Now, quick disclaimer, guys. I'm not one of those gurus telling you they made it with copywriting, but they actually make all their money by selling courses. Because to this day, I make way more money copywriting for my clients as a copywriter that actually practices what he preaches on this channel than by selling courses. And even if at some point I make more money with courses, I would still do copywriting for my clients because I freaking love this game, guys. So let's get right into it. Step 1 of my process is case studies. And to picture this, I just wanted to show you guys what a case study is all about. So for example, here's a quick screenshot of me doing an actual case study. In that case, I had generated over $146,000 in sales over the course of 3 to 4 days, I think, for one of my clients. And I was just recording the entire process, like the way we did it, what were the copywriting strategies I used to achieve that type of results. And I was then able to reuse that video to show it to other people I wanted to work with so that I could back up my claims and what I wanted to offer to them with some actual data. Now, a powerful case study is worth way more than quick cash because most copywriters are too focused on chasing money now instead of building long-term leverage. And to picture this, I just wanted to ask you guys a quick question. For example, let's say you have an entrepreneur that comes up to you and offers you 2 options. The first one is he pays you 5 grand for a copywriting gig. Or the second option is that he pays you nothing, but he lets you use the project as a full case study with all the results and data that you can record and then use it to sign some other clients. In that specific scenario, almost every single copywriter I know would pick the money, which is the dumbest decision you could ever make. And that's why most copywriters will stay broke, because the real power comes from building a reputation, a track record, and having some actual proof to back up what you want to offer to your clients. So what's a track record? It's a clear history of the results you've created with actual numbers that you brought to your clients. For example, how much revenue did your emails generate to your clients? Like, here's a quick screenshot of me just going through my screen and showing to one of my clients that over the last 7 days, they had made $18,000 in sales with my copywriting. Or it could also be, what's the ROI you can show with hard, undeniable data? For example, if your clients invested 7 grand in your copywriting, were they able to make that money back? Were you able to 5x, 10x, 20x their investment? Here's a quick screenshot, by the way, of the type of results I'm bringing to my clients every month. So for example, when I close a $15,000 client, I'll never tell them, I'll write you 20 emails and we'll see what happens. We'll see how they perform. I'm not really sure. My way of approaching things is that I will come up to the client with a lot of certainty. I will tell them, here's how my last 20 emails made $1.5 million in sales in 1 week for that specific client. And that completely changes the game. That's how you go from begging for $2,000 a month retainers to having clients chase you with $15,000 deals. Because when you have that solid case study, it removes all doubt. Like, it's undeniable that you're able to bring those type of results because you have some videos, you have some actual data to back it up. You also have some proof, some other people in your industry recommending your copywriting services to other clients. It also gives your client clarity on what to expect if they work with you. It also kills pricing objections, guys. Never in my career do I have to deal with clients who tell me that I'm too expensive, because if you have data to back up that your stuff just works, then it just becomes undeniable that working with you is one of the greatest decisions they could make in their business. And it also lets your results speak for themselves. All right. So that was it for step 1. Now, step 2 is lead quality. Most copywriters pitch anyone who breathes. They send DMs to random coaches making $5,000 a month, hoping for a miracle. And what ends up happening is that they either tell them that's too expensive, or best case scenario, you're stuck in making $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Now, let me tell you that the problem isn't you. It's who you're targeting. Let me explain this with the tube analogy. So imagine your copywriting business is a pipe that money flows through. If the pipe is tiny, just like this one, very little cash can move through. And if the pipe is huge, big money flows easily, which just means that there's a lot of cash in circulation in the business. Now, picture a beginner entrepreneur doing $5,000 a month. It's a small business. The guy is just getting started, and you reach out to him and you try to work with him as a copywriter. Their pipe is very small. They're most likely going to be in that scenario. Every dollar they spend is a big deal, and you can't charge them $10,000 for copywriting because they'll just choke. It's more than what they make in a single month. But if you offer your copywriting services to bigger businesses, the ones that are making $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month, even $1 million a month, then that's a massive pipe. They're going to be in that scenario. And for them, paying $15,000 for world-class copywriting is nothing. But it goes even deeper than that, guys. You only have 24 hours in a day, so you can't serve 30 low-budget clients at once. You'd get burnt out. Those clients are the one that cause the most hassle, and it's the worst way you can optimize your time for scalability. If you want to scale, you need what's called income elasticity. So instead of filling your schedule with $500 projects, you focus on a few big clients that will pay you $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000. And that's how I scale without killing myself working 15 hours a day. Like in this specific scenario, the copywriting project I'm talking about in this video, the client that paid me $15,000 for 7 days of work, I was only working for 1 to 3 hours a day for 7 days straight, which isn't that much, to be honest. And I'm far from being the only one getting that type of results. For example, let me introduce you to Alada. She's 23 and she's a copywriter just like you. And before having the system that I'm showing in this video, she was sending Loom videos, cold emails to businesses, and she was basically using all the basic online copywriting guru strategies. And she had 0 clients and she was struggling to make money with copy. And now, after implementing everything I'm showing in this video, she's doing more than 7,000 euros a month in recurring copywriting clients. So retainer clients that pay her every single month, 7,000 euros. And she only works with high-level infopreneurs. Here's a quick screenshot of what she says. Obviously, Alada is French, so her message is in French, but I'm just going to translate it to you. So she says here, new retainer client signed at 2.5K per month. It's my 3rd retainer with Priyank's wizard method. And since I started working with him, I'm at 7,000 euros in retainer clients, which is crazy. That makes her 84,000 euros a year. And she's 23 years old. And she's not the only one doing that type of stuff. For example, let me introduce you to Antoine. He's 28, and it's this guy over here. Same thing for him. He'd bought a copywriting course. He started following a course and he was sending cold emails to entrepreneur and he was getting 0 results. And he used the exact system I'm sharing in this video. And last week, Antoine closed a 20,000 euro deal on a 5-month retainer. And he says here in this message, same thing for him, by the way, he's French. He's saying, just signed a new client this morning. We're going to be working together for 5 months. I'm getting paid 12,000 plus commissions on the sales I'm bringing with my emails. And in total, that will make me at around 20,000. Now, Antoine averages at around 5,000 a month because he has another client in the e-com niche. So now Antoine is making about 5,000 a month. He averages at 5,000 a month because he has another client and he's only offering copywriting services to e-commerce client in that case. So as you understood, the bigger the pipe in the business, the more you can charge without necessarily working more. But the most important thing, guys, is that you need to be very specific about what clients you want to work with and aim for higher lead quality. On my side, for example, I personally don't work with any businesses doing under $1 million a year. And the reason I'm able to say that is because I have a lot of experience. I'm in the game for the past 5 years. I've dealt with a lot of clients. I have a great track record. I have some case studies. I have some proof. I'm getting recommended. I'm getting a lot of referrals, and I'm able to select specifically the type of people I want to work with. So that's my standard based on my experience. So on your side, it could be a lot lower than that, but the main thing I'm trying to say here, guys, is that don't work for brokies. Don't try to work for businesses that are just getting started, because you're not going to go anywhere with that. So your goal should be to plug yourself into ecosystems, so companies, businesses that already have money flowing. For example, it could be SaaS companies, so software as a service, big infopreneurs, coaches, people who sell online courses, YouTubers that have a community and that they sell courses to. It could be speakers, authors, e-com brands. Those businesses have a lot of cash flow. Now, remember this, guys. Big markets equal big budgets equal a big income. Step 3 of the process that allows me to charge 15 grand a week for copywriting is delivery. So in 2025, if you want to charge high ticket as a copywriter, you can't just be a copy robot. In 2025, if you want to charge high ticket, you can't just be a copy robot. That's something I learned the hard way, because 3 years ago, I stopped selling just copywriting services. I stopped just writing for my clients, and I stopped being what I call a service provider, and I became a strategist. You see, in copywriting, there are 2 ways to deliver results to your client. So the first way to do it, and it's the biggest mistake you could ever make that 99% of copywriters do, is that they only do what the client says. They have no strategic input, and they never lead, they only follow. So you basically just listen to the client, you take notes, and you just provide them with what they've ordered. And that's really bad. You have no edge. You're basically just reacting to your client's request, and you're not proactive, which completely sucks. So these are the copywriters that will struggle, that are getting underpaid, they're forgotten, and they get ghosted. So in that case, you're not driving the business. You're just a keyboard NPC that only does what the client asks you to do. And this kind of a copywriter will never get paid high ticket. Now, when it comes to the top 1% of copywriters, that's what I want you guys to become. That's what I'm doing with my clients. And the mindset here is that you always want to go above and beyond. They go beyond the brief. They bring strategic insights. They take a look at the funnel. They not only write the copy, but they also come up with ideas. They treat the client's business like their own, and they lead with ideas and suggestions. For example, if I see a client has a solid VSL and a big list but no book calls, I don't wait for him to notice. I teach lead nurturing, re-engagement. I fix the ad funnel. I basically just over-deliver and do a lot more than the client expects me to do. And that way, you can become a partner that becomes irreplaceable in their business, not just someone who blindly executes. Now, step 4 of the process, it's posture. Never be emotionally attached to a deal. You've got 2 ways to handle any opportunity in life. The first one is that you put your clients on the pedestal. You bend over backwards and you say yes to everything. And that was my case before. When I got started, I needed money. So I was ready to do anything just to get the client, right? Or you have the other way around, which is you realize they need you more than you need them. And that's how I operate nowadays. So whether it's a 5K deal or 15 grand deal, I never chase the client. Doesn't matter the opportunity. But back when I started, I made this mistake all the time. I'd worship the client. I'd try to please them. I'd beg them for the contract. And I would just do anything just to get the bag. And what ended up happening was that they could feel it. My posture was weak and I was getting underpaid, guys. I was undervalued, disrespected. And then I had a realization, which is that there are way more businesses looking for great copywriters than great copywriters available on the market. So if you're good at what you do your homework, you have the mindset, you're ready to kill it on the market. It's not you who needs a client, it's them who desperately need you. Now, to be completely honest with you guys, I'm far from being the best copywriter from a technical standpoint. Plenty of guys on the market write better copy than I do. But the fact that I have the posture, the energy, I have the leadership, I have the positioning, that's my edge. And that's why a lot of guys on the market are probably better copywriters than I am, yet they can't charge as much because they don't have all those skills: posture, energy, leadership, positioning, which are way more important than just your copywriting skills. And it's also a big part of the reason why I've been paid 15 grand to write a few emails, even when the company already had a full-time writer making 5 grand a month. Guys, the deal that I'm talking about here in this video, they already have a retainer copywriter, like the copywriter that they pay every single month to write their copy. They pay the guy 5 grand a month. Yet they still needed me to come in for 7 days and write 15 grand worth of copy. Well, last year I had another client that I reached out to knowing that they had a copywriter, but I was like, I think I could do better. And I made them an offer so good they couldn't refuse, even though they had a copywriter they were paying $3,000 a month on a retainer. They ended up firing him and paying me twice more. So I signed the client for $6,000 a month. I got their copywriter fired. And the main reason for that is because I had the posture, I had the leadership, I had the energy, and obviously what I was selling was good. So the most important factor here is that posture flips the dynamic, guys. You're not begging, you're literally choosing. And when you have that in place, your energy becomes magnetic. You have more people that want to work with you. You have more people that ends up sending you referrals. You control the terms. You name your price, and that's what changed the game, guys. To be honest, succeeding in copywriting, making a lot of money with it, only comes down to about 20% skill set and 80% mindset. And if you master this, you master the money. So why am I sharing this? So the reason I'm sharing this is not to sell you anything. I'm just here to share what I do, what works for me, and what might work for you if you're a copywriter. My goal is just to connect with more people in the space. So if you're a copywriter, marketer, affiliate, offer owner, coach, you own an info product, anything like that, basically we have a space that is so tiny that I feel like we should just connect with each other, make friends in the game. And if you like this video and want to connect, just shoot me a DM on Instagram. We might be able to work together on some project or just connect. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out.